Alrighty folks, welcome back to JPlays Pokemon MMO. Today, we are going to see if we can take on the Unova League with a mono rock team. Here I have a team of all fossils. We got Hemsworth, our Amistar. We also have a Aerodactyl. Her name is Scarlet. We have a Bastiodon, his name's Jeremy. We got Evans, the Rampardos. We have Robert, my Kabutops, and Ruffalo, the Armaldo. So all of the Pokemon are, of course, rock type. They have some other types, including water, bug, steel, flying, and these other types are going to give us any little bit of coverage that we have. All of these Pokemon are going to be weak to basically all of the types that we're going to be going up against. We have a dark type trainer. We have a fighting type trainer, which is tough for all of our rocks. We have a steel type trainer, which is also tough for all of our rocks. So the Elite Four is not going to be an easy journey, but let's see what we can do as we roll. So, leading things off, we are going into the ghost type Chantal, and she's going to start with Chandelure. So Chandelure is fire, which I think is a good matchup until it uses Solar Beam, one-shotting my water type Pokemon. So right off the bat, we're at a disadvantage. I go in with some priority. I have Aqua Jet, which hopefully is going to be able to circumvent the nuclear bomb that Chandelure is, and luckily we take it out. So, a couple things with my team. One, type coverage is an issue, but you know, we have almost exclusively physical attackers. So if we run into a physical wall, like, we're gonna have a really hard time, like Golurk here. Like, for example, I'm using, super effective moves. It's doing a lot of damage. It's gonna be hard to work with, what I have. The tools that I have at my disposal are very limited, especially when I lose a Pokemon like Scarlet. So Scarlet, the Aerodactyl, is going to be the core of pretty much every single one of my strategies for this fight. The freaking Golurk uses a full restore. Oh, I hate when they heal. Like, honestly, it pisses me off. But luckily, we use a little bit of sturdy. We do some damage. We go back into Scarlet. Now, Scarlet, I've revived. Ordinarily, I don't like to use items, in Pokemon battles. I feel like it's me losing. But in this specific fight, you need to use revives. In Pokemon MMO, all of the trainers are much more difficult. They have different coverage, they have different items, they have EV training, so it's a little bit harder than the actual games. So I'm going in with a severe disadvantage, no EV training, a bunch of random fossil Pokemon. I'm just trying my best. Luckily though, Rampardos is able to clutch it out against Chantal, and we take the first Elite Four member down. So the game is kind enough to heal us in between fights, so we're going to go right into the next fight, and this is going to be a dark type trainer. So he may be a dark type trainer, but he's going to have a lot of other types as well. Grimsley has really good coverage on his team. We're going to see a couple different things. First off, he uses close combat on his Absol. Absol has huge physical damage, so immediately Jeremy the Bastiodon is just invalidated. We're going to send in Scarlet. Obviously, Scarlet's going to be very, very fast Pokemon, so it's going to take out some of the bigger key threats. I try to switch out when Bisharp shows up. I know I can't kill it in one shot with Scarlet, and we want to save Scarlet as much as humanly possible. She is literally the only Pokemon on our team that is going to make us progress in this entire challenge. I go into Kabutops for some stab, some priority. It uses another full restore. It's so frustrating when it does. He goes into Scrafty. So Scrafty and Bisharp, this is where the coverage comes in, because one's fighting and one's steel, which are two other types for the Elite Four, by the way. And both of them are going to be strong against all of our rock type Pokemon. So right off the bat, we're having a tough time. He sends out the ground type to my water type, which that's probably the only superior matchup I'm going to have for a while. And he sends out the Liepard. Now Liepard's really fast. It's faster than pretty much my entire team. Luckily though, Ruffalo is able to take some damage and kill it. Bisharp comes out, the steel type. It's gonna be doing some serious damage. Like, it's not even funny. Just like a strong steel type Pokemon is really, really tough. I'm gonna be using some more revives. I'm trying to rotate out some Pokemon, get some coverage going. I get my water type in the back row, and unfortunately this Bisharp is killing everything, even my ace in the hole Scarlet. Luckily, a Hydro Pump lands, and we're in a good situation. Scrafty shows up, and personally, I'm not risking it. I'm going to use another Revive on Scarlet, because I'm pretty sure Scarlet is able to take out the fighting type, Scrafty. And just like that, Grimsley is going to be taken out. That's 2. We're 2 for 4. And honestly, we're doing a little bit better than I expected. The The tough part of this Elite Four is being able to get like a clean fight throughout. Let's see what we got here. This is the Psychic type trainer, I believe. Caitlyn. Yes, this is Psychic. So we got Gothitelle up first, Psychic and Dark, I believe. Pretty good defensive matchup. I think we're going to be able to do some damage, so I stick out with Jeremy. And I try to heal, and then, you know, the Thunderbolts kind of take me down. And then eventually, well, what's interesting is when I heal, you know, Gothitelle's also able to heal. So she heals, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm in a winning matchup, so I'll just heal again. This is going to be an easy one. So she heals again, I heal again, and we're kind of in this stalemate where we're just like burning through all of our items. A key thing in Pokemon MMO is when you're doing a fight, especially these like boss fights, you're only allowed to use 4 items in total. So I've already used like 2 or 3 of them just on Jeremy, who isn't even one of my best Pokemon, so I'm wasting my resources. So I end up switching out to my Bug type, I take out the Dark Psychic, and Metagross comes out. Metagross has Meteor Mash, Bullet Punch, Hammer Arm. Like the type spread for this guy is insane. So I use some Water type attacks to try and chip it down. Unfortunately, it takes out my Hemsworth. So I go back to Jeremy. Jeremy's, you know, pretty reliable, at least in this fight. He's going to be pretty specially defensive, which most of my Pokemon are physically defensive. So we want Bastiodon to, you know, stick around a little bit. I go in for Crunch. Crunch is going to be my biggest weapon, and unfortunately I get Thunderbolted. Because of course Reuniclus has Thunderbolt, why wouldn't it? But I go into my Rampardos Evans, and his Crunch is just as strong, so I'm pretty happy with that. We're down to 2 Pokemon. The Metagross is still here, but luckily I have a ground type attack to take care of that. And we're down to Mushrama. Something I also want to point out, my Pokemon are really high level. Like, my Bastiodon's level 55, which I believe is near the level cap, and all of the Elite Four Pokemon are like around level 50. So I want to put that into perspective. This is how difficult this challenge actually is, because all of my Pokemon are severely over leveled. And I should be completely over-prepared. In fact, if I'm at the level cap in Pokemon MMO, that means that I can't get any stronger than I am. And I'm still constantly needing to use revives and potions and all these items to carry me through. So this is not an easy challenge. It's not easy at all. But luckily, we take out the Psychic type trainer and we go to Marshall the Fighters. So he has a very underpowered team, but all of his Pokemon are strong against all of mine because all of my Pokemon are rock. And having a mono rock team against a mono fighting team isn't easy. But luckily, we have Scarlet, which is the ace in the hole. Scarlet is able to use Fly, which is huge damage. Unfortunately, Conkeldurr is like a god tier Pokemon and does infinite damage. So he uses, of course, a full restore on the Conkeldurr, which makes me want to cry, but we're okay with it because we can just go right into a revive, right into Fly, and we're going to just sweep this team. And that is really the goal for Aerodactyl. He just wants to be able to sweep as much as possible. And if we really need to, like in the worst possible case scenario, we can use all 4 of our item slots, all of our revives. We can use them on Scarlet just to have him come back and keep using Fly. So I'm really not nervous about this fight. He's got rock moves, which is kind of funny because I'm a rock type, so like it's going to be neutral effective on all of the Pokemon that ordinarily would be weak, like the Bug and the Flying. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. We're just going to Fly Spam. We take out the Mian Shao, we're down to Lucario, and just like that, we finish the Elite Four. So the challenge is over, right? We finished all 4 of them, and now there's nothing left to do. First, we have to do some story approval. We see that N beat us to the Elite Four champion and end up beating him. And for some reason, N, when he beats the Elite Four, he gets to summon this giant castle, which is just living underground? Excuse me? Like, what is going on here? This is complete nonsense, right? Like, can we talk about this? And these giant, like, spire things, like, spoke out into him. We're only gonna go up this one staircase. Where do all these other staircases go? This fucking place is gigantic. And immediately as we walk in, we're surrounded by this, like, mob of old people. Apparently they're, like, the 7 sages of Hyrule or something. We're not really nervous because the gym leaders show up. And when I was a kid, I was popping the fuck off when this happened. I was like, oh my god, they're here. So, you know, we're gonna ignore them for now. We can leave. We navigate the castle for a little bit, and we make it all the way up to N. So, N beat Alder, who is the Elite Four champion, which means that he's the champion now. So we just have to beat N. But and decided to rehearse with his legendary Pokemon a little entrance to break through the door. I don't know why he did that. He broke like a hole in the wall. I'm pretty sure Reshiram was already around, like just waiting for N to give him like the signal. But in any case, Reshiram shows up and Zekrom shows up. I think Zekrom does a little more politely. He actually teleports in rather than, you know, bursting down the fucking wall. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. So Reshiram is, of course, on N's team, so we have to take the opportunity to catch Zekrom. And I'm not going to front, it's a really easy encounter. His catch rate is really, really high. I use a couple rock slides on him. I throw a couple Ultra Balls. The guy's done in like 5 minutes. Like, it's literally not even a fight. If I was including it in the actual video, it would be a crime. And we get the legendary Pokemon on our team now. And now we get to fight N. He's using Reshiram, which is a really cool fight. You know, it's two legendary titans going up against each other. Fortunately, mine's faster, so I just like 2-ko it, and it's a non-issue. And then he sends out Archeops, so I'm pretty sure that I'm faster than Archeops, but it ends up killing me. Surprise, surprise, it's actually a Zoroark. And it has, you know, Focus Sash, it's still reviving at 1 health. I don't really care. Zoroark was built up to be this, like, really important Pokemon in Gen 5. You know, N's like signature Pokemon. It's kind of lame. I actually kind of hate Zoroark. But in any case, our team is actually really well suited against this team. He's got a Steel type, which is kind of hard to fight. And then this guy's also a Rock type, so he's neutral to most of our attacks. Which is, you know, pretty tough. He's also Water, which is good against the Rock. But other than this Caracosta, like, we're kind of Caracosting through this team. It's very, very quick and easy. We get a Steel type attack to lose our Glass Cannon Rampardos. I'm not really sweating. We go into our priority and, you know, we're able to do more damage than he is. Like, it really is this simple. His last Pokemon is an Ice type and we're a Rock type team. It's such a non-issue. He ends up flinching just because he's a little bitch anyway. So we beat N, lickety split, and it's a non-issue. So we did it. We beat the Elite Four again. Oh wait, but now we have to fight Geddes. Geddes is actually a tough fight. We have a legendary Pokemon, we get a full heal, but his Pokemon is faster than ours, so it's exactly like the Reshiram situation where he could just 2-ko me. So I have to switch out into my special wall, he heals, so we're kind of back to square one, and we're just going to go back and forth for a little bit. He uses Focus Blast, which is more than enough damage to take me out, which is really unfortunate, and it's faster than me. Like, most of my Pokemon are really, really slow. So he could probably just Focus Blast all of my guys and it really wouldn't hurt him. So I switch back into my Dragon, I end up getting the kill. He goes into Seismitoad. Now Seismitoad, kind of similar to the Caracosta, we're going to be doing a lot of neutral damage to it, so it's actually pretty strong. And then we also have a Bisharp, which is also really strong against our team. So Geddes is the real final boss. This is the guy that we are really worried about. Luckily, we have Zekrom, and we didn't, like, you know, lose Zekrom really, really early. We ended up healing him up, so he's special to our team, and he's going to be able to circumvent. Now, people will say that I didn't beat the game with only fossils, but I will argue that Zekrom has been around since Age of Legends, right? Since time before history. Some might say Zekrom is a prehistoric Pokemon, much like all of my fossils. So, you know, the game forces it on my team. It's not like it's my choice, but I say he's an honorary Rock type. He's going to be actively a part of the team. And if you have a problem with that, go ahead and shoot it in the comments because I would love to fight you. Specifically with my Rock type fossil team, so square up. Now, luckily, our Rampardos is super clutch. He's coming in, he's taking out all these guys. Cofagrigus can't do shit to him, and he takes it out. Rampardos, of all of the Pokemon, Evans is the one to take the victory. So, I'd like everybody to give us a round of applause. You know, we ended up finishing out all of the Elite Four and both champions with a fossil Rock type only team. So, let's see what goes on after this. N, I think, thanks us for going on to, you know, do all these things. I think N is supposed to be arrested here, and then he just, like, flies off or something. He's like, you know, there's a giant hole in the wall. I think I'm gonna just jump. It'll be easier than prison. And then, you know, he kind of fucks off. We don't really talk to him much after this. And that's the game. So, thank you guys so much for watching. My name's JPlays, and I will see you in the next one, where we will do some more crazy Pokemon MMO journeys. Have a good one. Don't forget to like, comment, sub, and drink water. Thanks.